our top stories tonight. Tech giant Huawei set to heighten investments in Tanzania. Policy to nurture startups underway. Good evening, I'm Agnes Tunika. You can also follow us live on our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages at TBC Online. Chinese technology company Huawei is set to intensify its investments in the country following talks with the Tanzanian government represented by the Finance Minister, Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba. Dr. Nchemba is in China, where he has also called on company to set up modern communication technology systems that will enable the country to improve its internal revenue collections. Faida Ngaga has more details.
The Finance Minister, Dr. Nchemba, is leading the Tanzanian delegation to visit the Huawei company in Beijing, where several issues regarding investments in Tanzania were discussed. One is on improving the internal revenue collections. In addition, the Finance Minister urges the company to create opportunities for young Tanzanians on the area of IT, insisting the opportunities will revolutionize their IT skills for the benefit of both countries.
Tumejadiliana kuhusu miradi ya masuala ya kidijitali ambayo.
We had discussions about ongoing digital projects in Tanzania. The president wants the whole country to be connected. Tanzania is reinforcing a digital economy. We have a project called the Rural Coverage. This project is in advanced stage. Recently, the president launched the Airtel 5G technology. Therefore, this is the right time to finish the Rural Coverage project as well. The initial deadline for the project was 2025. Our request to you, Huawei, and other financial institutions, such as Exim Bank, is to continue to fund this project so that it can come to completion. On our end, as the Ministry of Finance, we will complete all the financial processes required in this project.
Speaking on behalf of the Vice President of Huawei, Mr. Zhang, Manager of Huawei Tanzania branch, Mr. Russell Zhao, says the company will explore opportunities available in Tanzania and invest capital and technology, adding that they plan to open their office in Tanzania.
Points mentioned, I write it down on the paper, and first to set up a business group, then for a lot of projects or directions you mentioned about, like ITS and 10 road, RTS and safety city, and training, ICT training, and tax collection system, even education and devices, and so on. And each part that to work with which ministry, also you already guide us about, and like 10 road and Ministry of Home Affairs, and even police officer, and TRA, right? TRA tax, yes. So when we come back, we will start all these jobs. Yeah, I think I need to add more people. Now people is not enough. so we can see we have more opportunity in Tanzania. We would like to invest more also in Tanzania in the future.
Dr. Nchemba is accompanied by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Natu Elimari Mwamba, Ambassador of Tanzania in China, Belwa Kairuki, and other senior leaders of the government institutions, including TANROADS and the Tanzania Railway Corporation, TRC.
The Minister of Information Communications and Information Technology, Nape Nnauye, has assured the Tanzania Startup Association TSA government's commitment to formulate policy that will govern their work in order to create a conducive environment for the innovators. Minister Nape made the assurance when he visited the TSA offices in Dar es Salaam, insisting that even the government do benefit through startups. Lulua Mohammed has more.
The creative industry is said to be growing rapidly in the country, facilitating various activities Hence, the government sees its importance and comes up with a plan to prepare a policy that will help improve the working environment for innovators. The Minister of Information, Communication and Information Technology, Tbcnews, explains the progress of preparing the policy.
We realized that the industry is growing. Currently, we have about 73 members of the Tanzania Startup Association. It is contributing, as per the last year statistics, about $80 million attracted to come and invest on the startups. So it is a growing industry. I'm here to assure the commitment of the government that will lead the process of forming the Startup Association. I wanted all stakeholders, including development partners, to wait until the government finishes the draft. Then we will invite them to give their opinion on the draft.
The minister adds that the existence of the policy will help to manage and identify companies involved in startups in the country.
To the government has the role to create good environment, conducive environment for any sector to grow. And here now we are particular to the startups. To us, it helps regulating the startups. We have issues on the registration, the patents rights has to be defined in the law. Before the law, then you need to have the policy in place so that you can facilitate all this.
On his part, the Chief Executive Officer of TSA, Zahora Muhaji, explains how startups have attracted many investors in the country.
Great jobs in the country, almost 80,000 jobs, but also to attract investment. If you look at the numbers, last year alone, we attract FDI, foreign direct investment, in the tune of $80 million. A year before was $96 million. And this sector has shown potential to grow even more. So we welcome the commitment from the government for fixed administration, Her Excellency President Samia Suluhu Hassan, to create more conducive business environment for us, for having this startup policy and act.
TSA has 673 innovative members, and the process of developing its policy will take about a year. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Lulu Mohammed, TBC News.
The Prime Minister, Kassim Majaliwa, says the government has started to invest cashew shell oil extracting factories so that the farmers continue to benefit from the crop and increase the value chain of the crop. He was in Tandahimba district, Mtwara, when he was inspecting a cashew nut factory that is meant to be used for cashew shell oil extraction. Here's the report by Martina Ngolumbi, read by Faida Ngaga.
This is a cashew nuts processing industry called Organic Growth, located at Tandahimba in Mtwara region. Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa is here for an official visit. This is all part of the government's efforts to add value to the cashew nut crop. The director of this industry says they are currently in the piloting stage, and once they are ready for the actual production, they will start processing cashew nuts, and they expect to process 3,000 tons of cashew nuts per year.
Tuna tani zaidi ya 120 kwa ajili ya majaribio.
We have more than 120 tons for trial production, and we expect to start actual production as soon as possible, probably before the end of this month. The value of the investment, including buildings and machinery, is approximately 3,500 million.
Au imefikia thamani ya shilingi bilioni 3 na milioni 500.
After the inspection of the industry, Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa says the government will continue to improve the value of cashew nuts in order to make an impact.
Korosho kumbe maganda yale na yenyewe yanakamua mafuta.
Cashew nut skin is a source of oil. We have been giving them for free. The organic growth industry I just visited has installed a machine for harnessing oil from cashew skins. When I visited Korea, I also invited an investor to come and establish another industry which processes oil from cashews. And the investor is here, and they will be establishing the industry in Mkuranga. You should all start to take your cashews to industries so that we can sell processed cashews. This, you can also sell the cashew skin. Those who are establishing industry should also pay the cashew farmers money for the cashew skin in order to increase the income of the farmers.
The presence of this industry has brought employment to youth, especially women, at the Tandahimba District Council. We are grateful for getting employment opportunities here. We can support our families through this job. We can afford to take our children to school now because of this job. We can also support our households through this job.
Minister of State, President's Office responsible for regional administration and local governments calls on development stakeholders in the country to come forward and invest in the education sector to enable the government secure funds from the Global Partnership for Education (GPE). She was addressing to the development stakeholders, insisting the funds will enable the country secure funds from Global Partnership for Education (GPE) amounting up to more than $50 million that will be used to improve the education sector.
Rais TAMISEMI kwa kushirikiana na Wizara ya Elimu, Sayansi na Teknolojia.
The President's Office TAMISEMI, by cooperating with the Ministry of Science and Technology, we are continuing with the preparation for a special event of fundraising or mobilizing education stakeholders in the country so that they can sponsor primary education. This event is expected to take place in Dar es Salaam on the 31st of August this year. First, we will get the chance to improve our infrastructures by the help of internal stakeholders. Second, it will help the government to implement new plans that have been brought up by a change of policies in an educational curriculum.
Hususan katika kufanikisha utekelezaji wa eneo la mafunzo ya amali baada ya kupata fedha hiyo.
Earlier, the Dar es Salaam Regional Commissioner, Albert Chalamila, elaborated that the improvement in the education sector have led to an increase the number of students, leading to the challenge of teachers and infrastructure, insisting that the move will alleviate the challenge.
Kinachotokea sasa hivi walimu wanapokea wanafunzi kwa sababu hairuhusiwi kukataa wanafunzi.
What happens right now is that teachers receive students because they are not allowed to refuse the students. This becomes an issue because accommodation in hostels is not enough because there are few hostels. It is even hard to recruit new teachers even when other teachers retire.
Kwa sisi wadau wa ndani kwenye huu mkoa wetu wa Dar es Salaam.
For us internal stakeholders in Dar es Salaam, if we are deciding to contribute to the education sector, it means that our contribution will remain in the Dar es Salaam region. So we will have double profit. First, to bring development to Dar es Salaam, and the funds will be directed to the education sector.
Minister of Natural Resources and Tourism, Mary Masanja, has instructed the investors of forest products processing industries in Iringa region to purchase only full-grown trees in order to manufacture quality products and maintain their global market. She was inspecting the production of forest products in Mafinga in the Iringa region. Here's the report by Irene Mokalinga, read by Teddy Mparanyanga.
Mufindi is well known for its tree farms, including the Sao Hill Tree Farm, which is an important raw material for wood processing industries in the country. Deputy Minister of Natural Resources and Tourism, Mary Masanja, is visiting some of these factories, directing that the factories must purchase only full-grown trees and not otherwise.
We ask the investors to make sure that they buy trees that have reached the harvest stage, so that the products which are produced will have good quality, and when you export them abroad, they will be sold at a good price.
Elaborating on the Sao Hill Tree Farm, the acting chief conservationist, Tbcnews, says that apart from the farm being the main source of industrial raw materials and playing part in conserving water sources, she says the revenue has fallen because investors are buying immature trees from farmers.
We have directed the employees on how to continue to receive their rights, and their contributions should go to the relevant funds. There is a challenge in the wood market that we have observed in the last period and has contributed to earning low income.
Mufindi District Commissioner Dr. Linda Salekwa promises to work on the instructions issued admitting that trees are the green gold in her district.
This sector of natural resources is helping us to take care of the environment and make it more attractive, and has greatly helped us to grow the economy. But but has also increased employment opportunities for the youth.
National Insurance Corporation NIC Director General Dr. Elirehema Doria says NIC continues to come up with quality and innovative services and products to reach out to ordinary citizens so that they can improve their daily lives and economic activities through insurance. He made the remarks immediately after receiving the Superbrand East Africa Award as the best insurance service provider in the country.
First of all is to ensure that we continue to provide education, but also to design products that reach each customer individually in the sense of micro-insurance products.
The Director General adds that the sixth-term government's vision spars positive results, while Superbrand CEO Jawad Jafar emphasizes that the winners of the award should use the award as an incentive to go back and provide even better services that meet the needs of the market.
Success for NIC, but also a great success for the country, also for the government under President Samia Suluhu Hassan, because of her vision and her instructions and her guidelines have helped us to bring these fruits of quality that have never happened in any government institution.
The consumers vote for these brands highly, and then when they score high, that's when we invite them, and that's how NIC came up on top in their category. We are looking at three key elements for a brand. You're looking at quality, you're looking at reliability, and you're looking at distinction. Three key factors that make a brand anywhere in the world.
Millions have been flocking to Tanzania as their preferred destination for tourism, work, studies, or any other social activities. To honor it, Tbcnews talks to various foreigners who are in the country to signify charm and love of Tanzania to foreigners. My colleague Apasia Ringo caught up with Mr. Tommy Lunio, who is a Finnish citizen who works for the Finnish embassy in Tanzania as the deputy head of mission, who says he is impressed with Tanzania's natural beauty and hospitality of its people.
What have you liked in Tanzania ever since you've been here? Speaking of the fact that you've been here 10 years ago and you're back again, what have you liked in Tanzania apart from working in the Finnish embassy?
Most of all, I love Tanzanian people, their hospitality, their warmth. I love to speak Kiswahili. I've learned the language quite well. There's some work to do, but being with people is the best thing for me.
So apart from the tourist attractions, what type of food do you love in Tanzania?
Well, along the coast, I really loved fish and coconut curry type of the Swahili kitchen. I like most of it. Like it's for someone coming from Finland, like the seafood here is really amazing. But I also like ugali.
Oh wow! You like ugali with what relish?
I like it even with on Lake Victoria. I eat it with daga, the fish, the small fish.
So, speaking of generally in Tanzania, so what do you think you'd advise or motivate another Finnish to when they come to Tanzania? What should they do apart from working? Because I believe apart from working, there are a lot of things we could do around.
I always tell my friends who are looking to visit Tanzania, and there are many. Tanzania is a great spot for tourism. To also go to the villages, the local communities, and try to talk with people. And I think many Tanzanians these days know English also, so it's not mandatory to know Swahili. Although for me, it's been opening many doors. But of course, my friends who come here, they want to see Zanzibar, they want to see the national parks, lions, and all those animals, amazing animals.
Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look on our today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news compiled by Dorothy Murray and read by Teddy Mparanyanga.
Nigeria's military leaders have announced plans to prosecute the deposed President Mohamed Bazoum for alleged high treason and undermining the security of the country after toppling his democratic elected government in last month's coup. In a statement read out on national television, the army spokesman Colonel Major Mado Abdurrahmane says they had been gathering evidence against the deposed leader and what they claim were his local and foreign accomplices. Attempts to resolve the crisis through dialogue with the Regional Bloc Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has so far been unsuccessful. The latest announcement comes as a surprise as it comes hours after the junta expressed their wish to pursue diplomacy to try and resolve the crisis in the country. The Southern Africa Development Community Electoral Observation Mission, SUM, will deploy its members nationwide in Zimbabwe this Friday ahead of polling on 23rd August. It will join various other observer groups such as the Carter Center and the African Union COMESA teams already stationed in the country's 10 provinces. The SADC Secretariat team has been in the country since 10th August. In a statement, SUM says its mandate was to assess the conduct of the elections against a set of central principles stipulated in the revised SADC Principles and Guidelines governing democratic elections of 2021, which include, amongst others, full participation of the citizens in the democratic and development processes, measures to prevent political violence, intimidation and intolerance, and respect for the election results by all political parties. Far-right politician Javier Milei has received the highest share of votes in Argentina's primary election. The primary, in which presidential candidates from all parties take part, is seen as a key indicator for the presidential election on 22nd October. Reports say Milei exceeded expectations by winning 30% of the votes and beating more established politicians. More than 20 people have died in rain-related incidents in the northern Indian state of Himachal Pradesh. Chief Minister Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu says that heavy rains have triggered landslides and flash floods in the hill state. Early on Monday, a temple in Shimla town collapsed after a landslide.
International news, sports news is up next. To sports news. In sports news, the Athletic Tanzania Vice President William Kalage believes that Tanzania international athlete Alphonse Simbu will win a medal in the upcoming World Athletic Competition to be held in Hungary. Vice President Kalage adds that Simbu will maximize on his experience in long-distance running he acquired from various competitions.
He's prepared very, very well, actually. And we hope that he'll come back victorious according to his training program, which we have seen. So it is our expectation that Alphonse will do very well in this forthcoming World Athletics Championship that's taking place in Budapest, Hungary, in a couple of weeks' time.
The 2023 World Athletics Championships, the 19th edition of the World Athletics Championships, is scheduled to be held from 19th to 27th August 2023 at the National Athletics Center in Budapest, Hungary. The Minister of Information Communications and Information Technology, Nape Nnauye, directs the media industry in the country to motivate more Tanzanians to love golf like other sports so as to create employment opportunities, especially for the youth. The minister has made the directive immediately after closing the friendly golf match between Tanzania and India at the Gymkhana Stadium in Dar es Salaam, as his words were supported by the ambassador of India in Tanzania, Binaya Pradhin.
I believe that media outlets have power to promote golf by sending good messages, especially for the youth to start playing golf. We visited Uganda. They have 30 members of parliament playing golf, while in Tanzania we have only 2. and we have many golf courses, so we have to promote it.
Waganda wanaleta watu mpaka 50 wanacheza golf.
Close partnership among the Indian and Tanzanian friends, and that's why the format is, the game is between the Indian origin and Tanzanian friends.
The winners in the friendly game have been awarded prizes and medals in various aspects of the golf game. That is sports news, and now before we conclude the news bulletin, let's take a look at our weather update.
Welcome to the next 24 hours weather forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. My name is Margaret Masawe. Wind is expected to flow with a speed of 30 kilometers per hour over the entire coast from southeast, and 30 kilometers per hour over Lake Victoria, 20 kilometers per hour over Lake Tanganyika and Lake Nyasa. The state of the sea is expected to be moderate. Cold condition is still experienced in many areas of the country, and the lowest minimum temperature is expected to be 5 degrees Celsius over Mbeya region, followed by 7 degrees Celsius over Njombe region. The rest are as shown on this map. Tomorrow we expect a partly cloudy condition and light rain showers over Tanga, Unguja and Pemba isles. The rest parts of the country are expected to feature partly cloudy condition and longer sun periods. Now let us see the next 4 days of the forecast for some regions of the country. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, we thank you for watching us.
And that is the end of our news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. Throughout, I've been your host, Agnes Tuniga. Thanks you very much for watching.
TBC1, ukweli na uhakika.